Hello, Gemini. Welcome to your monthly reading for June 2025. This is for Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising. We're going to jump right into it. Gemini. Now, first, if you are new to my channel, I'm going to do your overview, your astrology overview. Then I'll do your spread. Then I break it down week by week. I tell you some other aspects that are going on. This is a loaded month, by the way. There's nearly 30 aspects, some of them so major and life-changing, okay? And then, of course, after that, we'll do your second spread. But Gemini, first of all, happy birthday. What is going on? This is your best birthday season in forever. I'm going to walk you through it. I'm so excited for you. I'm going to cry for you. This is it. We're here. You made it. I really want you to go hard for your birthday, okay? This is the luckiest month of the entire year. You deserve this. 2025 has been a year. We had back-to-back retrogrades. We had double retrogrades. We had those eclipses. We had the changing of the nodes. Even Jupiter, that's in your sign, right, was retrograde the first 2 months of this year, and it didn't even leave shadow until May 1st. So when I say you deserve this month, this is you. This is all for you, okay? This is going to be big. This is going to be big because we are now leaving that heavy energies that we were going through this year. That fog is being lifted, and you started experiencing it mid-May, okay? That was a ramp up to this month, all right? So not only is it the luckiest month, it is an epic buckle up, your life is changing past the popcorn type of month, all right? Again, June is now a launch pad for your new era. And I talked about this in your annual 2025 forecast. I said you're going to experience things you never have or will again in your lifetime, all right? This is the month. And one of the reasons why this is going to be big is because, remember, Pluto, freshly new in Aquarius, your BFF, all right? First time in 250 years, fellow air sign, right? Now, in the past few weeks alone, you had Saturn and Neptune move into Aries. So they're there together the first time in 320 years. And this month, Jupiter, as you can see, the planet of luck and good fortune, optimism, wisdom, faith, expansion, all that, moving into Cancer, where it's exalted, meaning it does its best in Cancer out of all the signs. But that's not it. No, that's not it. This is, so I just told you about those planets changing signs. In June, of course, the sun is going to change signs. It's going to leave your sign. Mercury, your ruler, is changing signs. Venus is changing signs. Mars is changing signs. Jupiter, right? You throw in Jupiter, Saturn, Neptune, Pluto that I just mentioned. Every planet changing signs. What? In this compressed period of time, that's overlapping this June energy. So, whoa, they are bearing gifts. They are bearing gifts, okay? I talked about that 29-degree point for y'all, all right? So, by the way, too, for you, Gemini, when I talk about that, so that's pretty much every planet except Uranus, but you know, and I have told you this, and I want you to look at your last week's reading. Uranus is changing signs, moving into your sign for the first time in 84 years, the first week of July. So do you see, from May to July, you've got all planets changing signs. That'll be the last of the 4 outer planets. So again, look at your annual forecast. Get ready for a ride in June. It's gonna be gangbusters. Throw in the fact that we have 4 of the luckiest aspects that only happen once a year, right? They happen every year. They just happen to fall in June. We have a Jupiter-ruled full moon, yeah? And as you know by now, the new moon, the last super new moon, right? New super moon, one of the best of 2025, it will be conjuncting Jupiter, making it even more rare. That's happening this month. And remember, the last few weeks, you had Jupiter, a sextile Chiron. You have Jupiter with the nodes, your destiny, your mission statement. So everything has brought you to this moment, okay? Remember, life is a miracle. And you're going to see that ever so clearly this month with Jupiter front and center. And of course, I'm going to walk you through everything. And yes, it is the luckiest month. And it doesn't mean there won't be other lucky months. This is just major, it's massive. And another thing, it is the luckiest month of 2025, but that also doesn't mean there won't be challenging aspects, okay? And so we'll go through those too, okay? I just want you to know that June is your magic carpet ride, okay? The universe is going to provide the magic, but you got to make your carpet, all right? June is a unicorn, right? You want to ride that unicorn? You got to make your saddle. You got to bring your saddle, all right? So, with that in mind, I'm going to just go over the highlights because, like I said, there's 30 major aspects. It's bonkers. I did a June astrology overview live stream where I talk a lot more about June that I won't hear, okay? Including the fact that Jupiter, by the way, yeah, I'll tell you something here because you're a Gemini, it's your birthday season and you're the best. Jupiter is, remember, still in your sign before moving into Cancer. So Jupiter is at 29 degree point in Gemini, right? And remember, Jupiter is going to leave you a parting gift. When Jupiter changes signs, that's what he does. And so that even amplifies the sweetness of June for you in your birthday season. And there's so many other things, okay? So many other things. So look at that June. I'll leave it at the end of this video or in the description box, the June astrology overview, okay? Because there are going to be a lot of things that I discuss in there relevant to you that's really big that I will not talk about here and very unlikely in your weekly forecast because there's just so much happening. But just like, for instance, that rare Venus Chiron Eris conjunction literally on June 1st. It's a big deal. We have not had that in a really long time. Check out the live stream, okay? And please pay attention to what I tell you the first week of June, the first, half of June, because remember, or maybe I didn't tell you this, but next week, I'm going to be with my family. I get to go see my family. I'm excited. So we will be skipping the first week in your weekly forecast next week, and then I'll resume when I'm back, all right? So don't forget to also read for your rising and your moon, all right? Those are really important, okay? For instance, y'all know at this point, if you're a subscriber, I'm a Gemini rising. So all of this, I feel just as much as you. So same thing for you. Whatever is happening in your rising, you're going to feel as much as, whatever sign that is, all right? Now, the other thing is, by the way, there's this, looking at what's going on for you. Can I just tell you real quick, Gemini, how loaded this month is with Gemini energy? You've got the Sun, Mercury, Jupiter, Sedna, Hygeia, the fixed star Aldebaran, right? Like, there's so much happening for you. It's not, and that's why it's just so bonkers. So, especially in your personal life, the role that you play, your identity, communications really highlighted for you. Ideas, thinking, curiosity, launching new things. All right. Now, let's jump right in. Okay. So everything that happened in mid-May, including that new moon in your sign from mid-May forward, right? Spilling over, pushing you in this direction, Wednesday, June 4th. You got Venus sextile Jupiter, okay? This is one of the best days of the year. You've got the two benefic planets at 29 degrees, that critical degree, that anaretic degree. So remember, sextiles are big. They're these windows of opportunity. They're these wonderful, amazing aspects for you. And you got Venus in Aries. You have Jupiter in your sign still. This is at that 29 degree point, all right? That graduation, that culmination of something, but something happening for you in an enormous way. You got Jupiter in your sign. So you've got the planet of love and money and creativity and beauty with a planet of luck and abundance, expansion, profit. I mean, this is going to be a big money month for you. And by the way, y'all are going to be very social and there's new people coming into your life starting now. If it hasn't happened already, starting now. All right. Venus is so social. Jupiter in your sign, you're so social. So use this. All right. Because what's not on the whiteboard, again, not everything's listed on the whiteboard, and we have stuff on the back. Mercury sextile Mars, that same time. What? What? So you have all the inner personal planets rolling out the red carpet for you right now. All right. You're going to feel powerful. You're going to feel driven and sharp, especially with the mind communication. There's a lot happening here. And then just within a few hours, you have Venus moving into Taurus all month. Venus rules Taurus. This is comfort. This is your physical world, material possessions. This is money. Taurus is the finance sign. This is creativity. This is love. It's self-worth. It's self-value. It's the things that you value. This is going to be enormous, okay? And very spiritual for you because this is your 12th house, but, Venus is also your 5th house ruler. So we're talking about things that truly bring you pleasure and joy and love and romance. Also creativity, creative projects, procreation, sex, yes. This is Venus, of course. So you can't make this up because at this point, you've got the two benefic planets. You have Venus in her domicile, and then you're going to see Jupiter moving into Cancer in its exaltation all month. I hope that you are getting excited because I haven't even told you what Jupiter in Cancer means for you. And you're going to, I really want you, make sure that you're not drinking anything. You're going to be, spitting things out because you're going to be so shocked, how amazing this month is for you. As I drink my Geminis, y'all crack me up. Y'all are so funny. Okay, so Sunday, June 8th, Mercury conjunct Jupiter. What? Yeah, this happens once a year. This is rare, okay? This is happening in your sign, Gemini, at that 29-degree point. I can't even. What is this? Mercury conjunct Jupiter? This is your ruler with Jupiter in your sign. So out of all the signs, who's going to feel this the most? Obviously you. And this aspect, it brings good news. It's business deals. It's you launching a business. This is with that luck, good fortune, expansion, optimism with deals and contracts. Everything Mercury rules. Remember, again, something is culminating here. There's this graduation. There's this gift for your new journey and a level of learning too. Maybe you're going back to school. Maybe you're teaching, spiritually learning as well. This is the end of a cycle. New one happening for you. Mercury and Jupiter are related. They both rule the mind, the physical mind and the higher mind. This is all about the big picture for you. Above everything else, this is you seeing the big picture. And again, very spiritual in terms of you leaning into your greater good for what you're seeking, okay? That same day, yeah, this is a loaded month. Mercury then moves into Cancer, leaving your sign. That's fine. That's great. You got Mercury, the mind, right? Cancer, the heart. All right. Also the subconscious too. So for the next 2 weeks from this point forward, this is merging the two, right? This is great. This is heart and mind. Okay. And it can be a little more sensitive than Mercury and Gemini, but this is still really great for you. Okay. You're going to be in this flow state that you can groove into. Okay. Now, here's the thing. And again, not on the whiteboard, but I'm going to tell you here now. Remember, there are some challenging aspects, and here you will have Mercury square Saturn and Neptune and Venus square Pluto. So there is a little bit of a squeeze. Just be mindful in the way that you communicate. That's all that is, okay? Be very mindful, all right? With these Saturn and Neptune squares, it's also a little bit, with Neptune here, it can be a little bit wanting, and Venus square Pluto too, honestly, right here. It really is just more spiritual for you. Remember, Pluto in Aquarius is in your 9th house of spirituality, but higher mind and travel and, publishing, broadcasting. But the big thing here is that inner wisdom. Yeah, because Jupiter is the native ruler of the 9th house. So you see that overlap happening for you. So with Venus square Pluto, just know that around this time, yeah, relationships can be a little bit tested. There may be a little bit of elements of jealousy, possessiveness, wanting too much control, too much power. Remember those lower expressions when Neptune is being squared of illusion, delusion, confusion, mixed messages, things like that. And the only reason I'm actually harping on this, because it is big. That's a lot. These are 3 squares. But on top of that, what's happening this day, the moon will be in Scorpio, which, as you know, if you are a subscriber, I have talked about this. There's an intensity with the moon in Scorpio, right? But On this day, the moon in Scorpio will be conjuncting Juno. And I've talked about Juno too. Just look at my last readings, all right? So we know for you, partnerships, relationships, contracts, big themes around this time. Juno works for you, by the way, okay? So just don't let anyone take your power. You have one of the best aspects happening for you this time. All right. So it's for y'all really more about processing things. Okay. Just remember to vibrate at that high frequency. Everything is energy. Now, the other thing is Gemini, that thing knocked over. We get to Monday, June 9th, which is the big day. Jupiter moves into Cancer the first time since June 2013. 2014. It's a 12-year cycle. Okay, think about what happened for you around that time. You've got Jupiter, Jove, king of the gods, who brings luck, good fortune, wisdom, blessings, the promise of abundance, generosity, especially in Cancer. But the main takeaway is Jupiter is optimism and growth and expansion through life experiences, to have appreciation and gratitude, all in the name of becoming wiser. Jupiter wants the best for you. Now, in Cancer, for the next year, all right, until June 2026, Jupiter in Cancer, where it's exalted in general, will have big themes in home and family, real estate, homeland, ancestry, your foundations, but also your gut instincts, your intuition, emotions. The moon is a ruler for Cancer. And so this is also maternal energy, or your mother, or your role as a mother. But the biggest of all, emotional growth and higher purpose. Okay? Home, family, heart, and soul. Okay? Jupiter, Cancer, security, nurturing. It can be like mama bear energy. But remember, here's a big thing. Cancer rules your second house. So what does this mean? Money. Money, money, money. Jupiter expands. Jupiter is luck. Second house is finances. As I said, you've got this at the same time. Venus is in Taurus. Money on top of money. You're going to see money, money, money this entire year. Okay? And then look at the live stream, because every Gemini is different. And I break it down. Some Geminis, you'll feel it strongly in the beginning. Some of you will feel it more strongly at the end of Jupiter's cycle next year. But either way, this is money, income, salary, finances. Y'all had the North Node in your 10th house of career anyway, right? I mean, this is big. This is huge. So everything that you went through, now you're being rewarded. Jupiter is, and again, it's not just money. If you're not here for money, self-worth, self-value, is that confidence, right? Material possessions. A lot of y'all may be buying homes, moving, things like that. There's a lot of stuff with home, and you've got the South Node in Virgo in your 4th house of home and family anyway. You're going through some big changes in that area of your life, but abundance, expansion, okay? Remember, you are on your karmic journey. All right. So everything that you learned with Jupiter in your sign from 2024 to 2025, now you're using that. Okay. You're growing, right? You've expanded, and new things that you've brought into your life. Now you're creating your reality. Remember, life is what you make it, right? So use this to transform your life. But you're going to see a lot of money stuff, especially when we get to the end of the month with that new moon. All right. Because again, there's something happening there. Just remember, Jupiter is the greater benefic, right? Think about that. Benefit, benefactor, beneficiary. I can't say the word at this time. I'm so amped up. But at the end of the day, Jupiter is faith, belief, optimism, higher purpose, all here in your 2nd house all year until June 2026. And remember, Jupiter's connecting with other planets, having conversations with other planets throughout the year. So yeah, all like different areas of your life as well. Now, here's the other thing. Jupiter in Cancer with Saturn and Neptune and Ceres, by the way, freshly new in Aries. That's a lot of cardinal energy, which is leadership. It's stepping up. It's starting new things now more than ever, because they're all, Jupiter, Saturn, Neptune, all at that 0-1 degree point of new beginnings anyway. That's what's happening for you. Remember, Saturn and Neptune in your 11th house, your future hopes, wishes, and long-term goals and dreams. Like, what? This is big. The fact that Listen, Saturn and Aries, Saturn natively rules your eighth house of shared resources and assets, money, inheritance, investments, bonuses, commissions, royalties. You see what's happening here for you, and partnerships. It can be business partners, love. There's so much happening for you, Gemini. I want you to get really excited, okay? You're going to see Jupiter working right away for you too, all right? Because Jupiter in Cancer, right? So I want you to think about this. Remember what I just said, how, heavy, slow things were in the beginning of the year? Well, do you remember Mars was in Cancer since like last fall until March? And Mars was even retrograde during that time too, where Mars was just not happy and brought delays, right? And prohibited some progress. So now, because Mars is out of Cancer, Jupiter's now coming in and just doing some work of like, okay, what did you want since September that you may have not gotten? I'm now bringing it for you. This is amazing, okay? You're going to see things right away. Now, June 10th, I don't even know. Is it on the whiteboard? Let me see. No. Yeah, it's not even on the, but Mars will trine Chiron. Again, just look at the live stream. I talked about that. It's a big thing because it's happening Wednesday, June 11th. You've got that full moon in Sagittarius. What? It's at 20 degrees. So it's a Jupiter ruled full moon. All right. Remember, joy, self-belief, faith, wisdom, optimism. I call this the full moon of epiphany. You will have shift in perspective big time, especially when it has to do with partnerships, relationships, one-on-one connections, legal matters, marriage, all of that seventh house energy for you. Again, we'll talk about them more in your weekly forecast, but something is ending. It's a full moon. Something's coming to turning point or conclusion. Okay. Remember, this is Jupiter. It's a Jupiter Jupiter rules Sagittarius. So this is big, all about your life purpose. But remember what I said, the big picture. So let things illuminate around this time. Focus on your chi, your prana, meditation, connect to the ether. And to be honest, it's bonkers because Jupiter will conjunct Mercury. Mercury is sextiling Venus at this time. It's almost like there's something here where you're like, yeah, I know, I want this to end because all this other great stuff is happening. All right. So really, really wonderful. And again, if not ending, just a turning point. This is one of the luckiest full moons. This may be like, maybe you've been seeing someone and this is the point you're like, hey, why don't we move in together? Hey, why don't we get married? All right. Things like that. All right. It's just ending one cycle for another one. Can be with, again, a lot of work stuff for y'all too. FYI. All right. Remember what I've been saying all the past 3 months, out with the old, in with the new. This is the time. All right. Why? Because now we get to mid-month, the 15th. Look at that. All right. So I told you there's going to be some challenging aspects. And now you got on the 15th, which can be the most challenging day. That Sunday. Happy Father's Day. All right. Now, we're going to break this down. The first one, Mars square Uranus. Okay. Mars is still trining Chiron, by the way. Again, that's just a thing. Mars is like a laser. Uranus, the great awakener, is like lightning. So around this time, yeah, there can be something here that brings surprises, revelations, your personal revolution, the unexpected. There's a little bit of a rebellious energy with Mars square Uranus, okay? But you can use this. Remember, use these aspects. Don't let them use you. This can be really exciting. You can feel really driven as long as you shake things up. Remember, Uranus was trine your north node. You've had breakthroughs, okay? You had Mercury conjunct Uranus. You had the Uranus Cazimi. And so Uranus is all about freedom. So again, use this aspect. Don't let it use you because Mars square Uranus is like the Tower card. But if you use it, then it becomes the star, okay? Remember that because Uranus is still trine Pluto, right? Pluto in Aquarius. The star card is attributed to Aquarius, like Mars is attributed to the Tower, right? So just the fact that you've got Uranus, again, moving into your sign next month, right? In July, that will be trining Pluto in Aquarius all year. That's just going to grow bigger and bigger and stronger and stronger. So that's the bigger deal here. So what do you have to break free from? What is the breakthrough that you have to have? Because both planets are saying, hey, Gemini, wake up, wake up. We're at 29 degrees. Do you want your gift? You got to just let this thing go, or you got to work with these energies or adapt to these changes happening in your life. All right. What is the opportunity? All right. That you want? Bring it to us. Now, Jupiter square Saturn, I talk about in the live stream. This is technically, and you see Jupiter square Neptune too. That's technically happening on the 18th. You're going to feel it a week before, a week after. It's going to be, here's the thing. Jupiter expands, Saturn restricts, right? This is part of a 20-year cycle that began December 2020. This is the last Jupiter-Saturn square. You already went through it. You already went through Jupiter-Saturn squaring in August and December when Jupiter was in your sign. This is going to be a piece of cake for you because Jupiter's not even in your sign anymore. All right. So just look at the live stream. I talk about this in greater detail. Just remember, practice patience, right? With Saturn now in Aries, which I talk about. All right. Look at the Saturn and Aries video I did. Now, Jupiter square Saturn. You went through this in 2019. All right. Very different energy back then. But this is what I call the wait, what? Jupiter square Saturn. Remember, those lower frequencies, Neptune, those lower frequencies of Neptune can come up. Illusion, delusion, confusion, escapism. So two things here. Something may test your belief system or vice versa, or it's a bit of wishful thinking you're getting something, but you didn't put in the work, right? Saturn's here. Remember, Saturn is testing you. This is your first true test of the month. And so just remember, keep a foot on the ground with Jupiter square Neptune. And remember, Neptune is compassion and kindness. So do acts of kindness, right? Raise your frequency, be creative, visualize. I've always talked about that. And Neptune is intuition. You've got Jupiter in Cancer, all about intuition. So trust your instincts, okay? Remember, you're vibrating at a 10. Gratitude, love, compassion, being your authentic self. You're not going to feel these squares at all. They're going to be like a 1 out of a 10 on a scale for you, all right? So just keep that in mind, all right? Now, the other thing, there's a lot, okay? Again, we'll talk more about this in your weekly forecast. And I talked a lot about this in that live stream that I did, okay? Here's the other thing. And remember, again, Saturn is karma, right? So he will reward you. You just got to work with him around these squares. Now, Tuesday, the 17th, June 17th, you got Mars moving into Virgo. What? I love this. It's a very different vibe from Mars in Leo, okay? And this is for the next 2 months where you're going to be a lot more practical, grounded. That's Mars and Virgo. I love Mars and Virgo. Remember, Virgo rules your fourth house. You're a mutable sign like Virgo, right? So there's going to be some changes with home, family, real estate even, okay? But a lot of energy here with that area of your chart. Significant other, parents, children, grandparents, things like that. You got Jupiter in Cancer anyway. So do you see that overlap for you happening, right? That you're going to feel for 2 months. But the big thing here is service to others. That's Virgo energy, right? And health and work. All right. So this is all, again, remember, with Jupiter in Cancer, your higher purpose. Now, with Mars and Virgo and the role that you have in terms of service to others, Pluto and Aquarius, the collective, how you contribute. All right. Now, the other thing is, here's the thing. I'm going to give you a little bit more, Gemini, because you just came. So we're coming out of Mars and Leo, right? At the end of the month, Mars is, Mercury, your ruler, is moving into Leo. Mercury will retrograde in July. So get everything you need to get done in June, right? Or first half of July. But because of that retrograde, it means Mercury will be in Leo all of July and all of August. So that Leo part of your chart is not done, even though Mars leaving. No. And remember, that is your third house that's your house. You rule the third house of communication, launching new things. This, so you've got your ruling planet moving into the planet or your like home, basically your home for the next 2 months. There will be a lot of conversations, a lot of communication, a lot of thinking, a lot of processing, a lot of launching new things, a lot of family energy, especially with siblings, neighbors as well, and travel. Big focus. All right. Now, I'm going to tell you that one later. Friday, June 20th, we move into Cancer season. Happy summer. It's a solstice. Happy winter in the Southern Hemisphere. We're going to talk about this a lot more in your weekly forecast and what this means for you. But you've got Mercury, the Sun, and Jupiter in Cancer at this point. You've got the stellium amplifying, putting that huge spotlight in your second house of income, salary, finances, your material possessions, your physical world. Remember, you got Venus and Taurus here at the same time. Taurus rules that second house. So you have that overlap. So it's almost like quadruple amplified for you. But again, it's all about emotional growth, your higher purpose, and your mindset changing too. All right. So focus on that. As above, so below, right? Because there's so much more happening. You've got on Sunday, the 22nd, Mars sextile Jupiter. What? That happens once a year. That only happens once a year. This is big. You don't, by the way, because of the retrograde, and I've talked about this, right, in your annual forecast, you will not have this at all in 2026. Mars sextile Jupiter doesn't happen again until 2027. All right. Use this. We'll talk about in your weekly forecast. But whoa, there's so much charge up, right? In your second house in a really big way. Really, really, really big way. Money, 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 money. And charge up to Tuesday, June 24th, where you have the Sun conjunct Jupiter in Cancer. This happens once a year. All right. And it is the luckiest day of the year. It's the luckiest aspect of the year. It is happening, by the way, just to let you know, Gemini, the moon's going to be in your sign. You're just coming out of it. So you got a lot of emphasis on you already. But Sun conjunct Jupiter in Cancer in your second house. So all this luck and blessings, right? That's happening in your second house of everything I said: money, finances, self-worth, self-value, confidence, material possessions. Food is a thing too, but it's all about comfort. Anyway, some of y'all are going to feel this in a massive way. This is a Jupiter Kazemi. Okay. Think about that. This is big. All right. So some of y'all will feel this days before, days after. You'll see things brewing right off the bat. Some of y'all, it may be something that is set in motion. Remember, it's part of a cycle. So you may not see something like right on the day, but you're going to see things happening and you're going to start seeing things emerge in a really, really big way, especially with things that you've already worked on, things that you've already been, grooming or planting, where you've been finding success. Why? Because it's happening that night, Wednesday, all right, the 25th, as well as Wednesday the 25th, because we have the new moon in Cancer, but it's happening at 6:30 a.m. my time, Eastern Standard Time. So you've got the Sun, Moon, and Jupiter conjuncting the new moon in Cancer, one of the best new moons of 2025, which again, that's just again another cycle. You got this huge charged up, auspicious cycle. You haven't had a new moon conjunct Jupiter since 2022. Like, this is big. It's in your second house where things grow, where things expand. And a lot of it has to do with money. All right. And finances and salary. And it's big. It's enormous. So we'll go into detail in your weekly forecast. Just know this is big. Plant seeds, set intentions. Last super new moon of the year. And by the way, just real quickly, Mars is sextile Jupiter, as you know, but to triply activate this new moon, you've got Mercury sextiling Uranus, the Sun sextiling Mars, not on the whiteboard, Mercury trine Saturn and Neptune. Best month, Gemini. I love you. Y'all are amazing. And you're the only sign, by the way, I'm going to go this long for, all right? Because it's you in Cancer. All right. So if you are watching for rising or moon for other signs, I'm going to see what that is. For other signs, there'll be a little clarifier later. They're going to be a little bit shorter because there's so much happening. and I gotta pack for my trip. Let's get started, Gemini. Let's see what's going on for you for June 2025. Gemini. You can't make that up. 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 I can't even. Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Okay, I literally the best month for you in a long time, like probably in your lifetime. Just to let you know, you don't get this. Is what's happening is insane. Is insane. Okay, Gemini. Let's just get started. Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Let's go. Let's do it. You listen. You saw that, right? You saw that. You saw that. Universe is on your side. Gemini, I do a traditional cultic cross spread, offers the best overview. If we need to pull clarifiers, you know that we will secondly. Gemini, you know I love y'all. Y'all are amazing. I'm very excited for you. I cannot wait for all these. I read your comments. I'm congratulations to everybody. All the new things that y'all been going through. Y'all amazing. All right, let's get started. Yeah, look at you can't. I mean, this is. You get this. You're gonna get a ring bell. You get that. You get this. I'm gonna show you that rock that has paint on it. You get the wise owl. All right, let's get started. Gemini, you're good. You know you're good. This is your best month of the year. And again, not to say you're still not gonna have like great months throughout the year, but Page of Wands, you already started. There's already something here that's already happening for you, already brewing for you. I love this. Congratulations. Page of Wands, amazing. Pages, fresh, new energy, right? Look at this. You already got that Ace of Wands, right? So you see the Page of Wands, you see the leaves sprouting from the wands, but look at him, that intense, like, I'm not going to give this up. I love this. This is a page. He's going to turn. Look at him standing in that desert landscape. There's something there, right? He's going to turn it into this lush, verdant garden of his passions. This is Wands. A lot of y'all, career. For a lot of y'all, it's profession. It's, enterprise, all of that, right? For a lot of y'all, it's something that you are just really feeling this creative energy in terms of, I'm going to launch this. I'm going to do this. It doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter where you are in your life. There's something here. As you move into June, remember, you're coming after that new moon in your sign that was really big anyway. Things are growing for you. All right. So stick with that. Amazing. You got the King of Cups and the heart of your spread. What did I say about all this, heart and soul energy? Okay. This is cups, love, emotions, feelings, all of that. This feels good. Okay. This is the King of Cups, who, by the way, is Scorpio. Scorpio natively rules, or Scorpio rules your sixth house of everyday activities anyway. Your routines, work, health, all of that. But emotionally good. You're the rock for other people. You're feeling really good. You're in touch with your intuitive side. You're trusting your intuition. Very spiritual here. This is amazing. All right. This is also a lot of self-love. All right. Self-love, self-belief, everything I mentioned earlier. He's a big leader too. Again, people have seen you. Now, you have the star in your challenge area. Okay. So what did I say? This actually isn't a bad thing. You're coming out of something, by the way. The star is when, that's hope. Okay. That's like faith. That's wisdom. That's healing. That's the stars aligning for you. All right. Things growing in your world. Two things. Some of y'all are coming out of something, okay, where you didn't have faith in yourself, where you didn't believe things could happen. You see all the changes happening here. All right. So second thing is that this is saying, have that faith, have that self-belief, believe in yourself. Okay. You've got to believe in the fact like that everything is happening for you. If you don't believe that, then it's harder for those things to do, right? So that's just a message that way. And then the third message coming through is, yes, there may be someone that you are on this journey with where, hey, maybe, again, pay attention to that full moon in Sagittarius. Maybe it's time to part ways, okay? And it can be career. It can be your boss. It can be an employee of yours. It can be whatever resonates with you. This is all about your spiritual, emotional growth, all right? Remember, the star card is Aquarius. Pluto is in Aquarius. Remember, Aquarius rules your ninth house of inner wisdom, spirituality, your belief system. So all of that, take that with you. Ace of Wands, right? You're good. You already know. You already know new things are happening. You already listen, this is the power of manifestation, right? This is the power of energy frequency. As long as you believe, you got it, and you know that something big and new is happening for you, you have that Ten of Swords and the root of your spread. This is your card, all right? This is your card. This is very interesting. The Ten of Swords and the root of your spread. The end, all right? So I actually love seeing this because it's almost like you're putting something to bed this month that's been taking up too much headspace. And if not, do it. You have to now do it. You're on a karmic journey. That's what this card is. Look at this. You have the sun pop out for you. That was the universe giving you a wink saying, I got you. The sun, optimism, right? Opportunities. The sun, vitality, achievements, this rebirth that you're going through. The sun, card 19. 1 + 9 = 10. What is that? 1. New beginning. You're going through. This is a big month for you, but Ten of Swords, so the sun appears in only a few cards. Only a few, okay? Out of all the 78 outside of the sun card, and you see it here. So remember, 10, the end for this new beginning, all right? And that sun is coming out. This is a card of new dawn. New dawn. Those dark clouds are clearing. His hand gesture, the same as a Hierophant. Blessings, right? So there's something here again. You've got to learn anything that was taking up a lot of headspace, that was like challenging. Now you're moving into this new cycle. In order for you to be on this karmic journey, you've got to learn from those challenges and use it to empower you. Okay. Moving forward. That's what karma is. Life lessons. So again, that is up to you. It's just going to, if you can face some things that may have been challenging and find a way to find peace with it or put it to bed and learn from it, to grow from it, because that's what Jupiter in Cancer, I've told you, is you're going to be absolutely fine because you got the Chariot in your future. This is willpower. This is confidence. This is belief. This is, look, the stars in the canopy here. He's going after his hopes and dreams no matter what. No matter what. You see him. I'm going to show you something here. You see his chariot. He's literally sitting in cement. Nothing's going to stop him. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. He's not turning back. No way. You see the two sphinxes here. He's in control. It doesn't matter, right? Which way they go, you're in control. You've got this power. And it's almost like there's something, once this cord is cut, there's something there. It's like, whoosh, you're amazing. And the Chariot is attributed to Cancer. Let's get to your stuff. Gemini, y'all are amazing. If you like this reading, would be great if you like, subscribe, leave comments. Tell me what's going on. Gemini, y'all are so fun. Y'all, you know you're the fun ones, right? I can say that. All right, Gemini, I love y'all. All right, so yes, there's, like I said, you've got it. There's something you got to end here. Something you got to end, but you're still really good. Look, you got the King of Pentacles. You got these two kings. What I say about that money? Yeah. King of Pentacles, by the way, is Taurus. You see the bulls in his throne. You see him. Look at his robe. Look at him sitting out there. He's integrated in his wealth, right? He's holding that golden scepter. Anything he touches turns to gold. And then you see his hand over the pentacle. That's ownership. That's confidence. That's saying, look at me. Look how rich I am. Yeah. Remember, pentacles are your physical world too. So all this abundance, move in that direction and have that confidence. Okay. And again, there's something here where it's like, you've got to believe. You've got to believe. There's something here. We're moving out of it. All right. Remember, out with the old, in with the new. Pay attention to mid-month, the Jupiter, Saturn, and Neptune squares with Mars squaring Uranus. Yeah. Three of Swords in your external factors area. There you go. There's got to be something that, remember what I said maybe 20 times because something's bear repeating. Jupiter in Cancer, emotional growth. All right. Higher purpose, spiritual growth. So yeah, there's got to be something here that you're going to experience in June that may be a little bit challenging. That may be, we call this the heartbreak card, right? But it's all for your growth. Okay. Remember that full moon in Sagittarius is amazing. And there's something culminating, coming to an end. But then you have those squares where it's asking you to, hey, do you want to bring this along on your journey? You've got to trust your intuition. And it may be a partnership, maybe a relationship, creative partner, all of that. Maybe even the end of something here that just maybe, and again, even if you're here, if you're, let's say you're Gemini, I've told you this in the past. If you're a Gemini sun, sometimes the aspects aren't about you. They're not. That's your rising. Sometimes the aspects are about the people in your life. Okay. There may be the end of, maybe, I don't know, your boss decides to leave the company and it was your favorite boss. Okay. And now you're like, what do I do? Because I brought in this other boss who's a little more, But that is the universe giving you the sign. Hey, you've got all the knowledge. You've got all the knowledge and wisdom to start your own company, to start your own business, or to have, move into this better position. You see how this works? All right. So the moon. Yeah, that's the thing. You got the moon here. Just don't all the way up here, especially when it comes to career, your reputation. That's going to be a big focus for you still. You still got the North Node in Pisces. This card, the moon in tarot, is attributed to Pisces. So there may be something there. Again, if you're not here for career, it's just whatever. It's very public facing, the 10th house. So whatever you're thinking about in terms of like your reputation and things like that, the moon just, again, natively rules Cancer. So you're going to feel all that Cancerian energy in terms of your self-worth and your self-value. But there's something blocking you. Yeah, I even pointed to this card, 3 of Swords. Sure, I said it's a heartbreak card, but at the end of the day, it's still the sword suit. It's up here. 10 of Swords, 3 of Swords. The moon, it can be a little, right, up here. It's a subconscious. So there's something here that's got to go out with the old, in with the new. And having that belief, because you also got the 2 of Swords, right? So now we know for sure, right? Now we know for sure there may be some big decision you have to make that can be a little bit emotionally impactful for you. But what did you get in the heart of your spread? The King of Cups, where he's on top of his emotions. He's very emotionally stable. He has all the love in the world, all this self-love. That's what I'm saying. There just may be something here. You may have to make that decision. Also, look at the water. Look how turbulent the water is, right? Water, it represents emotions. Nothing's going to knock him off that throne. So no matter what's happening within your world, as long as you take that ownership and have that self-belief, you're good. Look at all this new stuff happening. All that confidence. Anyway, 2 of Swords. There you go. Just be in touch with your emotions and your intuition. You're going to be fine. Oh, yeah. What was this card that... I honestly, like, this is the universe telling, like, you can't even make this up. You can't, again, you got the sun that just popped, the sun popped out, and then remember, the 3 of Cups popped out. This card is actually attributed to Mercury in Cancer. Mercury will be in Cancer this month, all right? Your ruling planet in Cancer, right? That's in your second house of money and everything that I mentioned earlier, but this is a card of this new, right? Card 3. Vibration of the Empress, 1 + 2 equals new reality. 3 is all about, learning and development and maturation and all of that. All right. This is a thing, but with something new. You can see them celebrating this new harvest or something that's come to an end, and we're entering summer. The solstice. It's a big key point of ending. Anyway, you're good. You know that, all right? Sun in your sign still for the first half, moving into Cancer second half. Both are great for you. This is a Cancer card, so you're good. You got this Cancer card. And this is a card of celebration anyway. You got something huge to celebrate. Just know you got to make some decision and don't overthink things, right? I know that's hard to say to a Gemini, but listen, that's just try not to. Especially mid-month. Now, let's break it down. Let's see what's going on for you week by week. Let's just pull some cards here. First week, I think the biggest thing for you would be Venus sextile Jupiter. Please take advantage of that, all right? With Venus moving into Taurus as well. What can we expect the first week? You're good. Knight of, you got that, Knight of Cups, all right? And by the way, what I talk about partnerships, relationships, earlier, well, there you go. You got the Knight in Shining Armor. And remember, it can be in any capacity when it comes to partnerships and relationships, okay? Love, career, your neighbor, your sister, just wherever you're putting that energy in, but seeing things happen. And yeah, maybe there is very likely someone coming into your life now. As I said from the beginning, new people are coming through into your life, and you're going to start seeing it, especially around Venus XL Jupiter. This is also creative, like maybe even a creative projects, and you just pursuing what you want that's going to fulfill you emotionally. But a lot of career energy is coming through for a lot of y'all. Now, the second week is, the biggest thing is Jupiter moving into Cancer. That's the biggest thing. Let's see what's happening for you for and the full moon. Okay. Let's see what's going on for you. Second week of June. All right. Y'all crack me. Oh, there you go. Eight of Cups. Interesting. I love it. You see the Eight of Cups. You see him walking away from the cups. He's moving to higher ground. What did I say that full moon in Sagittarius was? All about your higher purpose, your life purpose, like having that epiphany like he did. And he's like, okay, something is better for me. And he's making that move to move toward it. Just like that Knight of Cups movement. Knights are all about action and purpose. You're good. You're absolutely good. You got 2 Pisces cards right next to each other, by the way. All right. And so remember, Pisces rules are 10th house. So again, that's fame, that's career, that's public recognition, honors, achievements. You already got, you're good. Remember, the moon is attributed to Pisces too. So that may be just on your mind. All right. Now the third week is like, there's just so much happening. Well, you got the squares. You got, Mars moving into Virgo. We are moving into Cancer season. Let's see what's going on for you. All right. Third week of June. Gemini. Oh my gosh. You listen, you just don't. All right. You got the Ace of Swords. Yeah. You remember with even Mars square Uranus, I said, that's your breakthrough. You got Ace of Swords here. This is a huge break. This is the biggest breakthrough. I mean, with the Sun, the 3 of Cups, like you're good. You're absolutely good. Use it. This is the biggest sword in the deck. With great power comes great responsibility. You're moving into this role of leadership, of being recognized, of being on charge. And Ace of Swords, that you see the crown. Also, by the way, if there is something here where it's been, parting ways with someone, it's not even, it doesn't even feel in about, even here you even see the olive branch. So by the third week, there's this making up if you need to, but this is, again, new cycle with these aces. You got 2 aces, okay? Especially with intellect, logic, brilliant ideas, contracts, things like that. It's the Ace of Swords. Now, the last week with the luckiest day, luckiest new moon. Let's see what's going on for you with all those other aspects for June. All right, Gemini. Listen, you got the Hierophant, big leader here, right? Big spiritual leader. You got Pluto and Aquarius in your 9th house of spirituality. You have Jupiter in Cancer. That's already very spiritual in itself. Jupiter, all about, like I said, your purpose, higher mind, wisdom, all of that. That's the Hierophant. He's like a bridge himself. He connects the divine with our physical realm. The Hierophant is Taurus. Okay, remember what I said. You got Venus in Taurus all month, but then Jupiter in Cancer, that overlap because Taurus rules the 2nd house. This is huge. You see what's happening here. What did I say earlier? With this 10 of Swords, the man's hand gesture, the same as a Hierophant, blessings. So this is actually a blessing in disguise. That's how you have to see it. Remember, shift in mindset, shift in perspective. There you go. There you go. That when you have that shift, when you leave all that behind, right? Out with the old, in with the new. You got the Hierophant. You got the keys. I told you got the keys already. You got the keys at your feet. You're wearing a triple crown. Gemini, you're amazing. Best month ever. Happy birthday. If you like this reading, would be great if you like, subscribe, leave comments. Gemini. Yeah, I love y'all. Look, you can't, like, these popping out. I mean, everything else here, you got these 2, like, you're good. You're good. Even the, like, all these, like, new beginning, new energy. Next week, yeah, I already told you what's happening next week. And then second spread, we're gonna look at career. We're gonna look at love. We're gonna look at health. I'm gonna pull more cards. Tell you what you should focus on, what you can expect, all of that. All right. And what else? Yeah. There's some things here. Tier 3 members, you know where to find the link. Anyone is welcome to join. Gemini, happy birthday. Y'all are amazing. I will see you. And then, yes, next week. I love this. You know what? Take a screenshot. Do whatever you need to do. Do what you need to do. This is amazing. All right, let's do the tier 3. I actually might clarify that Two of Swords too. But anyway, Gemini, happy birthday. You see this is your best month. It is gonna be whether you, and we'll go deeper in the aspects. All right, next week. All right. Anyway, thanks so much. Bye bye.